Hello everyone, welcome another day to Canimando. Today I'm analyzing another trailer. This time it's gonna be DC Leagues of Super Pets. This is looking really good. I love the trailer and can't wait to watch it. So for now, let's just analyze the animation.
Wake up, buddy. It is walk o'clock.
Maybe I should let him sleep.
Okay.
From the first shot, we can already see what kind of animation this film is gonna be. It's semi-realistic, but you see the snappiness of the exaggeration that it has. See? Okay. Then anticipation, boom, you see how the character stretches quite a bit. Jump, hold, pose, and see, notice the line of action, beautiful line of action, the silhouette, really the contrast between all the legs bent and this one straightened, leading the action. And then, but you can see how it goes from really nice silhouette, one frame where the body starts to squash a bit, then he starts to flip in in two frames he's already flipped upside down. So see how they have quite snappy movements at times. Then boom, snaps, and really beautiful pose, snaps directly, boom, the settle of the pose and everything, really nice. The arcs created, great. And see this beautiful pose, the bend on the wrist, everything, the line of action. And really love how he changes poses. Notice how realistic, how much we can perceive. See, it's really nicely done.
Let him sleep.
Okay.
See how he leads with the front legs and the torso, leading with the upper torso. Then he straightens the legs and then he starts to move the back legs and boom, flips around. See how he leads with the front legs and then the back legs, and then you'll see really nice this silhouette, this line of action, great. And then he leads again with the front legs and boom, see how he flips again, the head stays around the same place, and then the back legs squash and stretch again. So see how the arcs created on the back legs, beautiful, how the front legs lead the action. Then see how the front legs reach the pose and then the back legs finish the movement, creating another beautiful line of action. So it's really nicely done. And then you can see the contrast. This leg, you can see how it straightens and then squashes a bit, but then this leg is straightening, then squashing quite a lot, and then straightening again. So even with between the back legs, there is contrast. One is doing a simple motion and the other one is squashing and stretching again. So there is contrast there as well. And then again, leading with the front legs and changing pose again. And then here we have this nice S-like line of action. Then the C line of action, great. And this one is really funny. See how there's quite a few things here. See how he gets ready. See how the leg, as the leg goes to the pose, the butt is raising, the head is moving back, so he's squashing his back, he's getting ready. And see how when he raises the butt up, you can see how he raises it, creating an S. It's not just a straight up motion, but it's creating the S, like trying to almost like fit into the pose. See the wiggle on the butt. And then the anticipation is really nice because you can see how it's a small dip. You can see how it goes down for 1 or 2 frames, then raises up for the anticipation. So it's a little anticipation for the anticipation, and then as one last anticipation up before sitting down. So he gets to the pose, to the anticipation pose, then moves down a little bit, moves to move up, and then finally moves up a little bit more to go down. So there is more texture. It's not just up and down. It's up, down, up, down. So you have all these making the shot great. And then you can see how over two frames, he already sat down, and then we only have the torso and the head to settle into the final pose. But you can see how the body reacts, how it dips down. See how the arm and the torso dips down as he's putting weight onto his chest and then settling back up. So really nicely done. And this is great as well, how he pushes him away, because I don't know if you noticed, but see how much spacing is in the first frame. But this is looking great because look at the eyes, look at the face, how it stays on the same place for the first frame. Boom. And we can achieve really fast and big spacing if we keep the eyes, because the audience is looking at the eyes, it's looking at the face. So if we want to make a huge movement on the character's body, if we keep the eyes and the face pretty much in the same place as the audience is looking at the eyes, we can pretty much do crazy things in the body, really big spacing, because the audience doesn't lose track of the character. If we move the head a lot, the audience loses track of the character. But if we keep the head and the eyes on a simple, more easy motion, the audience, you can do crazy things with the body. So here, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how the head doesn't move that much and moves really fluidly, really nicely. But the body literally just flies around. There's a huge spacing on the body, but the head is just moving a little bit at the beginning. So there you can exaggerate a lot. And also look at the drag. Look how much they exaggerated the drag on the back legs, and then flips around. See how they change the line of action. So the line of action is like this, is this way, the line of action, and then over 1-2 frames they completely change the line of action. So this animation style is quite realistic, but the changes of poses tend to be quite snappy. And then you see the settle, see they reach this line of action, and then the line of action gets a bit more squashed for the settle, and then the settle into the pose, and then falls back down.
And I'm up.
Really love this pose, really dynamic. Instead of just hanging all the legs, you can see how one is raised in a more dynamic, more elegant way.
Okay, we'll go for a walk.
I have an owner, and he's Superman.
Let me just iron that out. They should call me Iron Man. No, my dog's the best, but he's not the greatest with other animals.
What is new with you, fellow normal dog?
I bit the FedEx guy the other day.
Who was he working for? General Zod? The Legion of Doom?
FedEx.
Of course, the Federation of X's. Not to be trusted.
There are many things I want to point out in here. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
With
Okay.
other animals?
What is new with you,
What is new with you? The arcs, great.
fellow normal
Fellow,
dog? New with you, fellow normal dog.
see, notice the accent, fellow normal dog. So he looks down, he's trying to communicate with him, and when he's gonna acknowledge him, fellow, instead of, imagine, fellow turtle, fellow horse, fellow normal dog. So he glances down for a little bit, so the audience see that he's trying to look for the word fellow normal dog. So he looks down, and then and he looks down, and then
Animals?
What
you can
is
see
new
how
with you, fellow normal is new with you,
fellow normal dog. So
with you, fellow
looks down, looks at the dog, trying to find the word,
Normal dog?
and then addresses him.
I bit the FedEx guy the other day.
Who was he working for? General Zod? The Legion of Doom?
And then the other thing that I wanted
I
to point
bit
out,
the FedEx guy
that-
the other day.
Who was he working for?
see the contrast in the eyes, see the who is he working for. So the contrast, flat upper eyelids,
General Zod?
you know, then the pose remains more or less the same,
General Zod?
the Legion of Doom, but then he changes facial expression to a more squashed, opens the eyes a lot,
Doom?
the Legion of Doom,
FedEx.
FedEx. And this is, I love this, how the face doesn't change much,
FedEx.
FedEx, but he's like, FedEx, like, what are you talking about? And see how the facial expression changes very little, FedEx, but see how this lower eyelid erases a bit, so the facial expression changes a lot, but it's just changing it a little. So it's like, FedEx, so FedEx, he raises like, what are you talking about? But it sells a lot, the emotion.
FedEx.
And see the breathing, see how first the face squashes a bit, FedEx, see, see how breathes in, squashes a tiny bit the face, there is an eye dart as well, see, there is an eye dart,
FedEx.
FedEx, and then another eye dart,
FedEx.
Of course!
and then again,
FedEx.
of course, squashed, open eyes, squashed, no, stretched facial expression, open the eyes, the Federation, then changes again from stretched to squashed, the Federation of X's, and then again, X's, Federation of X's, uses the accent to change the facial expression again to a excited, a more stretched facial expression.
Not to be trusted.
Not to be trusted, and then changes again. So you can see the contrast from open, close all the time. So always in your animation, try to find ways to create that contrast in the face from opening, closing. Doesn't have to be super huge changes of emotion, but within the dialogue you can find moments to do it.
What is taking my honor so long?
And then the acting here is great. See how
Trusted.
he moves away with the body. He moves away. Looking at him. What is taking? And then looks around. Looking around. What is taking out my honor so long? I'm trying to. How I am getting out of this awkward situation.
Taking my honor so long. Honor so long. What is taking my honor so long?
Well, well, well. If it isn't the Justice League.
Superman?
What's going on?
You're super strong. I should be a lot more dead right now, right?
My best friend is in danger and you have to help me.
Well, we're just a bunch of shelter pets. But they're stronger than you think.
The mighty Oink! I didn't see anything. Show on wheels.
Where the heck am I?
Indestructidog.
Great.
I'm the only one who didn't get any superpower. Any superpower.
Great.
I'm the only one who didn't get.
I'm the only one who didn't. Like, oh wow, I'm the only one who didn't. The accent on.
I'm the only one who did.
Didn't. See, the accent doesn't have to be fast moving. Has to be specific. Has to change. So, who
I'm the only one who
didn't rolling the eyes. Didn't.
get any super.
Any super, and the any super, the accent on any super powers. So there's three accents on the arms, creating visual arcs, any super powers, but he's accentuating all of them.
Didn't get any superpower.
Any super power. And see how he's screaming to this side, squash, closes the eyes, and then leads with the arms. He's still looking to this side, kind of, although with his eyes closed, and then boom, boom, changes direction. So you see how the squash in the face and the arc dipping down, then changing to the other direction, always great.
When one has an abundance of power, they have a certain duty to use that power to...
This is great. See how sometimes you don't have to animate. Sometimes you can find places where you don't have much animation. You don't have to be like da da da. What? Como he doesn't have to be like what? What is happening over there? It doesn't have to be a huge reaction. In this time, he's just looking forward, and then you can see how just closes the mouth a little bit, looks to the side, and raises the eyebrows, and then you can see how the body relaxes a little bit. All these frames. See? And that's it. And that's the animation. Like, what's going on? So he stays kind of stiff, what's going on, but doesn't have a huge reaction.
Sorry, you were saying something?
How much did you have to drink?
I had 2 toilet bowls and a bidet. Bidet too, which is crazy. I didn't even know that was
This is great as well. Look
too, which is
how he's supposed to be like, what? Like, how much did you drink? And he's just perplexed at how much he's been. And so we want to keep the character still. We don't want to be all over the place, but we don't want either to be frozen in space. So look what the animator did to keep him alive. Is see how he basically just opens the jaw, opens the mouth, closes the jaw, and finishes opening the mouth a little bit. So basically the pose changes
that was the thing.
Very little, but keeps the character alive.
Bidet too, which is crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing, but it's like a dog water fountain.
And this is a great as well. There's two very well acting here. So there's a lot going on.
I didn't know that was a thing, but it's like
a lot thing, the accent.
Thing, but it's like a dog water fountain.
But the thing that I want to point out here is notice the movement. So he's going down, then to the side, down and to the side, and then up and to the side. So see how he's creating this visual arc. He starts here, then down, down, and if you could track the movement, he's creating this visual arc, a C movement on the nose. But there is texture to it. It's not just a smooth movement.
I didn't even know that was a thing, but it's like a dog.
Another thing, but it's like a dog. So there are 3 accents. I didn't know there was a thing, but it's like a dog. So although the whole animation, the whole movement is an arc, it's not just one movement. It's one accent, the other accent, and the next accent. So he has 3 accents in one movement, creating one visual arc, but with texture in between. So another thing to keep in.
Water, which is crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing, but it's like a dog water fountain.
Oh.
Out of the way, cat child. Ace, deploy canine shield.
What is a canine?
Evade!
Really like how they all land really superhero-like. Front pose, really nice arc, but super dynamic. See the pose, superhero pose. And then this one just completely obliterated. And there's another thing. When you animate a character falling down on the ground and you want to animate all the settle, everything, all the parts reacting to the impact and everything, sometimes can be quite hard if you want to make it hyper realistic. But in animations, you don't always want to create super realistic things. You want to make it believable, but not has to be hyper realistic. In this case, the animator wanted to just focus on this golden pose, the pose that transmits that he's just wrecked, he's just completely smashed. So you can see, you can feel it on the face, we can feel it on the paws, we can feel it on the legs, everything. But to transmit it, we can't just make the character just snap into the pose. We have to make it believable. So basically, it's quite simple in a way. See, you have this line of action. So leading with the torso. The torso is the first thing that contacts the ground. See, everything is dragging up. Then boom, the next couple of frames you see the impact, the first frame impact, then the squash, impact, squash. You can see how the face squashes, the legs move down, everything is at the lowest point, everything is squashed as much as it can against the ground. Then there's a bit of roll up on some parts, like the tail, the ears, the wrist, everything. And then you have the settle that you can see how the face is squashed against the ground, and then you can see how it recovers a bit more of its original shape. See, you can see the mouth, how it drags back to its original shape from a squashed pose, the face as well, the head like recovers its normal shape. Then you can see how the legs, how they are closer to the ground in the squash pose, and then they raise back a little bit. Same with the paw. See how it creates the visual arc here on the fingers. And also you can see how the fingers go from the impact, they straighten and then they recoil, they get together. So you have also the transmitting the impact on the fingers, on the toes. See, the toes, the everything, you can feel it everywhere. But it's quite simple. It's impact, squash, and circle.
Excellent shielding.
And then you have the little twitches. See the twitch here on the small, like selling that he's wrecked.
That seemed incredibly painful.
And then on the eye as well.
Seemed incredibly painful.
See the little twitch on the leg, on the eye, to really sell that he's just got completely wrecked. And then a funny thing is now he's stretching. He's like trying to stretch, but notice how little he moves. He's trying to stretch. He's trying to move the legs. Every part of the body he's moving. See, he squashes a bit, like the anticipation. See how down a bit, so down and up, trying to stretch, but he can't stretch because he's completely smashed. So see, we sell even more that he can't move because he tried to stretch, but he's not moving much. So we sell even a stronger sense that he just got obliterated.
Anybody want to switch powers?
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you like the analysis, hope you like the trailer. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for other animations to analyze, either in the comment box in the YouTube channel or in the Discord channel. Also, if you want feedback in your animations, feel free to join the Discord server and post your animations there, have a chat about animation. And other than that, this is all for today, and until the next animation analysis.